Welcome to this webinar, everybody, on how Metro Cash and Carry delivers great personalized customer experiences through omnichannel consistency. The webinar is part of the Sitecore Summer School, including more than 80 sessions available live and on demand during both July and August. Purpose of all sessions is to inspire IT and marketing professionals on how to best work with customer experience management and digital strategy, taking into account the technology, process, and competencies needed to succeed. You all know about all the challenges around this. Digital marketing leaders like Forrester Research, Vincent Bourne, and our competent Sitecore solution partners are the ones who will provide valuable insights and learnings on digital strategies and transformation. Now, a little bit of the housekeeping. So first of all, my name is Marie-Louise Boucher. I'm Partner Manager in Sitecore International, and I will be your moderator of today's webinar. Today's webinar is being recorded and will be available on sitecoresummerschool.com within the next 24 hours approximately. We will be taking questions for about 5 to 10 minutes at the end of this presentation, so please feel free to post any questions you may have in the chat box on the left side of your screen throughout the whole presentation whenever questions comes to your mind. And now, of course, most importantly, I would like to introduce today's speakers. So today we're joined live by Marina Sverdl, Global Head of Multi-Channel Marketing at Metro, and Michael Poppelar, Managing Director at Actum Plus. Now, over to you.
So, hello, I'm Michael Poppelar, and I will introduce Marina Sverdl. She's a Global Head of Multi-Channel Marketing at Metro, and she is responsible for digital strategies, its adoption in 25 countries, and all digital touchpoints within Metro Cash and Carry.
Good morning, Marina speaking here. It's my pleasure to introduce Michal Poppelar, who is Managing Director of Actum Plus, a company that helps us to bridge technology and business. Michal is the only Sitecore MVP digital strategist in German and Czech market, and we were working together really hard in the past couple of years, not only to deploy Sitecore technology in all 25 countries, but also to make sure that it's being adopted and being taken care of by the countries, being properly used and utilized. Before I get there to what we have done and how we have been working together on that road, let me introduce a couple of facts of Metro so that you know what exactly sales line I'm talking here about. So we are working together on for the brand Metro and Makro that is present in 25 countries. And there is a professional wholesale company, the core brand of the Metro Group. We are a leading international player in wholesale with more than 750 stores and 112,000 employees. So quite a big play in the market, quite heterogeneous, and also trying to reflect different local strategies that we have in the market, still sharing one and the same technology that is Sitecore, and how challenging it is and how we were trying to address this challenge in a flexible, modular way. This is something that we together would be presenting you in the course of this webinar. If you look beyond the figures, what we are, what Metro Cash and Carry stands for, we are operating in 25 countries, but we are not just a cold machine with some business behind. We are serving 21 million entrepreneurs. So we have our customers in mind, whatever we try to develop, to deploy, to drive forward, or whatever communication we are driving to them to make it relevant and meaningful for them. And beyond the figures of sales and beyond the figures of profit and results, there is a very strong brand positioning behind that is to be the champion for independent business. And the 4 is extremely important for us because it's not that we want to be the champion, not the chest beating. We want to champion independent businesses because if we make them successful, this is what will make us succeed. So it's by helping our customers make their business a success that we can start to fulfill our own ambition to be the champion for independent business. And this is this is exactly what is driving us. This is exactly that we are trying to fulfill in whatever communication we address. So we want to help our customers being competitive by granting them access to individually relevant content in the moment of need. Real time, any touch point, any device, anywhere, anytime. And this is extremely important for us, that it is the driver for any kind of communication, for any kind of a utilization of technology we are introducing to the countries, where, of course, the web that Metro is having is the key digital communication touchpoint. Whatever communication we produce will automatically drive the digital footprint of it that will land in our key touchpoint, that is the web, that is global in terms of technology within 25 countries, but is enriched by local ingredients that we have to leverage the power of the brand. So we have a global user experience framework that we have developed within the launch of Sitecore. Took us 2 years to get it to all the countries. But what is important here to say is, why do we go for a consistent framework that is the same across every country, but has enough of flexibility and modularity to attend relevant local country needs and to reflect the local country strategy? First of all, it helps us to be more impactful and consistent in our customer communication. But also, what is extremely important, if you look at the way how we technically deploy to the countries, is that we test, learn, and we make it easier, faster, and cheaper for the countries to adopt locally. If they were to develop this technology themselves locally, they would never gain the speed and they would never gain the adoption that we're able to offer. And there are certain things that you need to consider when doing that, and also a lot of learnings that we will be sharing today with Michal over the course of this presentation. And if you look at how Metro was progressing from a non-purely digital brand over the course of time, and if you look at the traffic that we were able to gain in the past 5 years since we started the first activities, and the impact that Sitecore launch was bringing to us is really incredible. So growing digital footprint by 5 times is extremely relevant and also is extremely rewarding. You could also see that we were gaining a lot of visibility with the launch of Sitecore, where technology was helping us a lot to drive this forward, but it was not just that. And this is the key message that we would like to bring across today, that going together with the right technology that can deliver relevant experience with the right content that is driven by the right solution is helping a lot to achieve results. And these are the figures that are showing to you. This is our one of the examples from Makro in Poland, that together with the launch of Sitecore and optimizing and reinventing content, messaging, and different areas of the website, together with the right technology in place, we were able to drive increasingly strong visibility for the content that we have. So you can see here that in Poland specifically, we achieved 42% increment in non-paid traffic for MCC Web within the 3 months of deployment. We have also other countries that are pursuing this way of doing things. For example, with Germany, clearly gaining a lot of visibility, increasing visibility in their dedicated assortment area of fish by 9 times. First of all, of course, we had a zero measurement. Starting from zero helps a lot to increase massively. But this is exactly the role of Actum Plus, that it comes into play when it's about applying the right technology with the right content delivered. And if you look at the areas that we were considering or we were going through to see what have we done on the way to make it happen, we learned that we need to drive the development and the adoption of the customer web going together. Because if you look at the content that we were developing in the course of time of the past 2 years in all 25 countries, it was not one global repository that just got translated. The articulation of the business strategy in the countries is very much different with Metro, where we have strong countries that are focusing only on professional business with hotels and restaurants, that is in France, Spain, and Italy. You have countries that are rather multi-specialist, and this is all to be articulated or to be reflected in the user experience and information architecture makes the whole story extremely challenging. So if you look at all the steps that we have to take, solution development, documentation, country rollout, content migration, adoption, personalizing experience, and last but not least, training and people skills. These were all the steps that we were looking through what we did on our way and how Acton Plus was supporting us to drive this forward and to help countries grow their digital footprint and adopt the great technology that we have put in place.
Thank you, Marina. I will continue on the next slide. So, as Marina said, we helped not with the solution development or implementation. We helped basically with adoption and migration and helping countries really to leverage the Sitecore technology fully, because it's not just about the technical deployment, but it's also about being used for the business and for marketing. So we help afterwards when the solution was developed with four main parts, which was content migration, adoption of the solution, personalization, and training and people skills. Just to give you a brief example, what does it mean to migrate 25 countries to Sitecore? It does mean that there were more than 200 people involved. In our offices, we had 12 native speakers to help countries to migrate from Prague, their website, from the old solution to Sitecore. We have been able to migrate 18 pages daily. We have, if you count the man days, it was more than 440 full days, and we spent like 15,000 hours plus on the project. And basically, it's important to understand that that the Metro website is not just the language version, as Marina said. So it's not just one master site which is then translated and the same all over the world. It's rather the framework where countries can use the common features, common elements, and components, but they can do their own website within the environment. So it's at the end, it's 25 independent sites which are managed by countries locally, and they should be empowered to use Sitecore fully. So to be successful with the migration, just give you the rough example how the process went. So to succeed means to scale the content execution and migration. So what we saw on the market typically is that there is, as I said, the master site which is then translated, but it was not our case. So we need to develop a solution or the process which was about helping countries to migrate all the current content they have to the new website. But it was not just this. It was also to create new pages. We have been creating new images. We have applied the UX improvements of the new design, and we help with the configurations. And important, this project was, or the process was important because it was part of the adoption. So how we designed the process of adoption to be really sure that all those 200 plus content editors across the world will be really happy with using Sitecore and will be really willing to work with the system and create the new content and use it for their businesses. We had 3 stages of adoption. So first, there were some objectives in the beginning, what Metro Cash and Carry wants to achieve on the website, and they wants to fulfill the needs of the customer on the web. So from those objectives, the UX concept, personalized journeys was created, and we started the adoption of the new UX design and the concept with the countries on the kickoff. So every country had the kickoff meeting, which was in personal with the representatives of Metro Cash and Carry, where we were helping to describe why the new website is there, what is the reason behind, what are the goals and values, and how it's redesigned. So this is quite different what's happening normally in large organization, because normally the headquarters prepare something and then distribute it to countries and say, okay, here it is, and use it. So we rather started with the approach which was really individual for every country. So for China and Japan, it was totally different, for example, than for Germany or France. So the adoption started already before the migration, and it was the UX concept adoption. Then was the second stage, which was the migration. So taking the old content from the current sites, restructuring it, putting it on the new website, adding the new content which was designed. And during this process, countries really adopted how to work with the basic features and how to work with the basic functionalities of Sitecore. So we wanted to really, at the end of the migration, be sure that the local content editorial teams can manage the site and can improve it and maintain it and really do the content on their own and really use it for the business. Because I'm repeating it again, it's not common. So typically you get the website, which is from the master, and then you just translate it. So at the end of the migration process, local teams were ready to work with the Sitecore and to manage that on their own. But what was also crucial and what is typically not happening is that we also wanted the local teams to work with the personalization, testing, and utilizing all these clever marketing features which are within the Sitecore and which makes the Sitecore really powerful if you're using it. So after the sites were live, we were helping with the support process to teach the local teams to use personalization, to work with the personalization, to analyze it, and then optimize the full cycle. So these three stages were very important for us, and we did this because we wanted to be sure, really sure, that the investment into the technology will at the end pay off and the countries will use it. What we found during the process that it's important, and Marina briefly touched that personalization is not the thing to start with when the website is live. It should go hand by hand with the development, and already in the preparation phase, when you are preparing a new solution, so we are talking about the technicals and about the architecture and about how things will be developed. It's a time to think about personalization and digital strategies and how they will be executed at the end on the site. So our learning is to start preparing execution roadmap, which features, what techniques will be applied for achieve business goals, and how this business digital strategy will be then applied on the site. Because typically what we see on the market again is that companies are developing, implementing Sitecore. At the end they have the site which is live and then realize, well, we don't have any plan how to use personalization. So this was important for us. So it means being prepared that when the site is getting live, you can set it up all the important things like taxonomies, like goals, like predictive profiling, understand which external data should be connected, and the site on Sitecore is then ready to help companies to max out the business potential of the communication. So the third part after going live is to test and roll out successful use cases. So case by case, small steps, step by step, applying it. And what we are doing, and what we were doing, and currently Metro is doing on their own is, in some countries, test use cases for personalization and testing, and then applying it for the other countries, and building really the knowledge base, what is working, what is not working, and this can be leveraged within the local teams. So even in Japan, China, or Germany, France, Spain, Czech Republic, all across the Europe. So that's important, and this is our approach. And again, to stress that really start with personalization is too late when the website is live, because it's not ready for that, and you need really the new iteration to get to that. So example of a use case we are using. So what is really easy to do is, for example, to personalize the banners on the homepage, really to target the right audiences and lead them to the goals which are designed within the site. So what we are doing are the 3 steps. We are segmenting the audience from external systems to select the right customer journey for them. Metro is a company which has all the data from their customers, so they have 100% customers identified, so they have easier situation. But at the end, they can use it for segmenting the audience. So that's the first step. Understand who are the customers. Then we are using predictive profiling in Sitecore to understand when the customer is on journey. So for example, we know that already registered customers are looking to some other content sections that the customers who are thinking about being registered and being able to purchase in Metro or Makro. So second tactic we are using is really using the predictive profiling to understand where the customer is and what is the next goal to present. And the third one was just easily present the banner on the homepage to lead the customer to the next goal. So it might be card registration for the customers who are not registered yet. Then might be the product catalog, just to understand what are the products Metro is selling. Also guide the customers through the inspirational content, etc. And to have in mind that this is just an easy case for one country, but every country in Metro is different, so this should be applied differently, and it's just the mechanism how to use. So this is an example. We are also having some other use cases which unfortunately I can't show, but basically it's about, for example, shortening the customer journey. So if we have the customer registration on a site, which is a set of forms and steps to register, we are, for example, leading customers that didn't finish the registration to the step they end up on. So, for example, if you fill just 2 steps of 3 and you didn't finish, we are trying to get customers to the 3rd step to finish the registration, and we are using the call to action placeholders for that on the homepage or across the site to do that. So easy, documented use cases, and case by case, this is applied and rolled out within the countries. Important thing what we did, and what is also very powerful within the organization, was that we developed our own training system and our own knowledge sharing processes. So we are not training, and Metro is not training countries on, I would say, template implementation or out-of-the-box Sitecore instance. We are doing trainings on the implementation of Sitecore in Metro, focusing on the features which are important for Metro and focusing on the content and business strategies that are applied on the website. So we prepared, for example, tutorial videos for content editors which are with the content which is related to Metro and relevant to Metro, so they will easily understand how to use the personalization. So it's quite close to their daily work and daily business. We have also established a dedicated support for marketeers in countries, so if they want to ask, they have a line to ask, and we are ready to answer. So it's not a dead end. If you are willing to understand something, there is all the time person who can help you with, either in Actum Plus or Metro. For the big countries which are important, we prepared a coaching session, so a series of workshops, webinars, trainings, or know-how sharing. We were visiting countries, showing them how to work with Sitecore, presenting them the real examples and working with them on the business aspects of using Sitecore, not on the technical ones. And also there is an executional support for the content editors in the country, so if they want to have someone who will help them with the execution of their strategies or their content or their personalization, we are ready for that. So it was important because it's not just saying, okay, here you have the Sitecore and leverage it in the country. It was about guiding them how to use all the functionalities and how to be able locally to leverage the power of such a technology. And I'm coming to the very last slide, and then I think there will be space for questions if you want to ask anything. So there are 5 key takeaways from starting personalization in Metro and what we have learned during the process. So important thing, development and execution roadmaps are crucial. What we see within other big customers in for example, in Europe, and Metro Cash and Carry is one of the largest implementations of Sitecore in Germany, is that typically the development is happening, the IT part is happening, but business is not aware of what they can use the Sitecore for and how to apply the business strategies at the end when the site is live. So this is really needed to think about it hand in hand and to build both roadmaps together. On the other hand, when the site is live and when you want to leverage it, apply the keep it simple and stupid methodology. So apply small use cases and build the complexity step by step. If you want to achieve big things and if you start from nothing with artificial intelligence, for example, you will not be successful because you will not know what to do. And we are using for that, for example, maturity models, which are derived from the Sitecore customer experience maturity model, really to help customers to grow their understanding of what to do and their internal knowledge. So coming to the point number 3, maturity of the organization is important. As I said, if you are telling to the organization to do some things which are more mature and they are not prepared for that, they will not understand and they cannot leverage the technology then. So, and on the other hand, if the company is prepared and it's really experienced, you cannot talk with the basics. So it's really to apply the right things according to the maturity of the organization. Fourth key takeaway is that big organization like Metro needs to see measurable results, and you need to engage your organization with the measurable results which are easy to understand. So it's not just about showing that the functions are working, it's also showing that there is some value delivered by using those features, and we are trying to present every case and focus on the value delivered. So on one side we can learn what to do better, but also we can present what we did and how the investment is leveraged within the company. And fifth one, I would say the most important one, that the technology will not drive the execution. If you just think that implementing technology will help you to achieve the business results, there is something missing. Technology needs to be applied and needs to be applied correctly according to the business strategies and business goals and objectives you have and which are on your site applied as a customer journeys or how the site is created. So that's all from me for now, and Maria, I'm ready for questions.
Thank you so much. Can you hear me, Michal?
Yes, I hear you.
Perfect. Thank you so much, both to you. It's really great to see these strong, concrete results and receive these good advice also on both how it is important to keep the experience marketing strategy as part of the project from the very beginning to and throughout the process and throughout the whole journey. That's also the point about small use cases, failing faster to learn faster and gain bigger, as we also say. Also measuring value is very important. So, but it's nice to see all these important statements being put into play and how it is important and has been throughout this project and journey that you've been through. Let's see if we have some questions coming in. I think we have a few here. So the first one would be, what was the biggest challenge?
Yeah, the biggest challenge was organize everything to go smoothly, and because, as I said, there were more than 200 people involved and 20 parties within Metro on the agency side. So the biggest challenge was to really establish the migration process as a process and all the adoption phases as a process that can be repeated. So this was the most challenging thing, and also we were facing challenges in applying the strategies and really fine-tuning the technology to be ready for the strategies we had and doing the personalization. And also the scale is quite big, so monthly there are millions of visits on the site, and to manage such a scale was challenging.
Definitely. Can imagine that. The second question here, how did you migrate content into 25 countries?
Sorry, I didn't get that. Can you repeat it, please?
Yeah, you were mentioning also the challenge working with content in 25 countries and deployment and so on. So there's a question here, how did you migrate content to 25 countries?
Okay, so we had a process which was helping countries to understand what to prepare for the migration. So we have several documents like content matrices and understanding the structure of the current website, understanding the goals, understanding the what they did previously. We were also able to understand the content from the language perspective. So, for example, for China, we had a native speaker here in Prague who helped the content editorial team to understand what to move where, basically. And we were talking with the countries. This was also important. So it was not just one-way communication, hey, you have something prepared here and do it on your own, but we have been actively asking them to help to migrate it and to inform us or show us what they did in the past and not to forget anything. And also we helped them with the technicals because, for example, to migrate all the URLs, redirect them, and do all the stuff for SEO and things like that, it was also important not to forget about it. So yeah, it was about the process and about the communication with the countries in person or via telcos and video conferences.
Thank you. And this is actually related, but maybe you still want to share a few words on it. There's a third question here. Do you manage personalization in all countries, or do you have delegates working for local offices?
Well, typically we want local offices to manage personalization by themselves because we cannot know 100% their business and their goals. Every country is different. So we are rather helping them to gain knowledge and understand it and then manage it on their own than doing it from the center or from one execution or content editing team. But in some countries we are acting as a local agency. Some countries have their own agencies which are able to manage personalization. Some of the countries are managing it locally. And it's really just about understanding the small steps they can apply and understanding how they will help with the business. Important is also that this Metro customer website is not the transactional one, so there is no e-commerce part on that. So it's to find out what to personalize and what are the journeys a bit difficult because it's not just about selling, it's about more softer goals like registering, understanding some content, visiting some content, and going on a specific journey which is not sell. So this is also important to have in mind.
Thank you. One more question. We still have some time, so we can take in a few more questions. How did you align strategy to Metro's KPIs?
Yeah, we were working closely with the business representatives of Metro. So we have been asking for KPIs, and we are trying all the time to understand in what is the business of Metro Cash & Carry and how they are doing the business, so then we can find together the right KPIs and the right goals which are on the site. Heavily they are reflected by the UX design and how the site is designed, because it's designed to fulfill some goals and really to go to lead the customers to achieve those goals. So it's I would say the complexity of the design process, starting with UX and talking all the time with the clients about the measurable results at the end.
Great. Thank you. There's one more here. Are there large differences in organizations' maturity between the countries, or how do you help less mature ones to bridge the gap to higher maturity?
Yeah, the maturity is different in the countries. Some countries are really on the basic, and some countries are really mature. We are helping more countries which are less mature, so it's about really helping them to understand the small steps in the beginning that they can apply. So I would say that the less mature countries are in need of more help from the headquarters than the more mature countries which can do that by their own. So there is no methodology behind it. It's just that support is designed to a different level of maturity, and we know how to help them if they are more mature or less mature.
One more around e-commerce and goals and values. So here comes, without e-commerce as part of the platform, how did you create goals? What kind of goals, and how did you measure?
For example, goals are number of registered customers. Goals might be percentage of visits to promotions sections or consumption of the promotions, engagement with some content parts, so how many people are visiting the product sections. These are all goals. Some of them are not that close to the business, but they are all signals for Metro Cash and Carry that customers are willing to buy. So it's a different scale of goals. Some of them are really close to direct sale, like becoming a customer, registering for the card, which is enabler to purchase in Metro. It's a directly business goal, because if you have the card, then you can buy. But visiting, for example, the product sections might be a signal for us that some products are important and we can promote them somewhere else. So it's about understanding really what signals, even on the non-transactional side, are saying to us that the customer is willing to purchase.
Interesting.
And we are measuring it. We are measuring it, or as conversions, or amount of visits on the sites, or engagement which means how long they were on the site, how many, how frequently they are going there, or things like that.
Based on a value that you added to a goal, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Okay. Looking at one entity out of the 25, how much time did it take to develop the marketing strategy?
Well, we are not developing the marketing strategies. They have it. We are just asking for that because they know what they want to do. We are just helping them to apply it on a platform and in the new design. So we are not developing it with the countries. They have it ready, and we are just helping them to apply it.
Okay, then maybe the question was more about to implementing it.
Yeah, so in practice, it's a 2 days workshop when we need to understand what the country is doing, how the business is running, what are the personas and what they do. And at the end, we are helping them to design the journeys, or to design the content on the journeys, and to help them with the personalization of the important parts of the journey. So sometimes push promotions, sometimes push the content which is important for the customer groups, and it's really helping them to design what they should focus on.
Okay, one last question here, Michal, and I think it's a good one actually to end with. How can we contact you?
Yeah, basically the contact is on the introductory slides on this presentation, or we have the website actum.cz where we have all contacts, or my email is michael.poplar@actum.cz. So we are open to discuss with anyone who has the Sitecore, and we can help really to leverage that.
Thank you very much, Michal, and also to Marina. And thank you, everybody, for attending this webinar. Again, it will be live on sitecoresummerschool.com within the next 24 hours. And then there's only left to say and wish you all a very pleasant day. And good luck in your future digital projects.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.